In this video, we are going to talk about lost cities of the world. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. It's hard to imagine how an entire city can get lost, but that's exactly what has happened to the lost cities on this list. There are actually many reasons why a city has to be abandoned. War, natural disasters, climate change, and the loss of important trading partners, to name a few. Whatever the cause, these lost cities were forgotten in time until they were rediscovered centuries later. Number 15. Carthage. Located in present-day Tunisia, Carthage was founded by Phoenician colonists and became a major power in the Mediterranean. The resulting rivalry with Syracuse and Rome was accompanied by several wars with respective invasions of each other's homeland, most notable the invasion of Italy by Hannibal. The city was destroyed by the Romans in 146 BC. The Romans went from house to house, capturing, raping, and enslaving the people before setting Carthage ablaze. However, the Romans refounded Carthage, which became one of the empire's largest and most important city. Number 14. Great Zimbabwe. The Great Zimbabwe is a complex of stone ruins spread out over a large area in modern-day Zimbabwe, which itself is named after the ruins. The word great distinguishes the site from the many hundred small ruins, known as Zimbabwes, spread across the country. Built by indigenous Bantu people, the construction started in the 11th century and continued for over 300 years. At its peak, estimates are that Great Zimbabwe had as many as 18,000 inhabitants. Causes for the decline and ultimate abandonment of the site have been suggested as due to a decline in trade, political instability, and famine and water shortages caused by climatic change. Number 13. Sanchi. The Sanchi site has a building history of more than 1,000 years, starting with the stupas of the 3rd century BC and concluding with a series of Buddhist temples and monasteries, now in ruins, that were built in the 10th or 11th centuries. In the 13th century, after the decline of Buddhism in India, Sanchi was abandoned and the jungle quickly moved in. The lost city was rediscovered in 1818 by a British officer. Number 12. Husa. Husa became the capital of the Hittite Empire in the 17th century BC. The city was destroyed, together with the Hittite state itself, around 1200 BC as part of the Bronze Age collapse. The site was subsequently abandoned. Modern estimates put the population of the city between 40,000 and 50,000 at its peak. The dwelling houses, which were built with timber and mud bricks, have vanished from the site, leaving only the ruins of the stone-built temples and palaces. The lost city was rediscovered in the beginning of the 20th century in central Turkey by a German archaeological team. Number 11. Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde, in southwestern Colorado, is home to the famous cliff dwellings of the ancient Anasazi people. In the 12th century, the Anasazi start building houses in shallow caves and under rock overhangs along the canyon walls. Some of these houses were as large as 150 rooms. By 1300, all of the Anasazi had left the Mesa Verde area, but the ruins remain almost perfectly preserved. The reason for their sudden departure remains unexplained. Number 10. Persepolis. Persepolis was the center and ceremonial capital of the mighty Persian Empire. It was a beautiful city, adorned with precious artworks of which unfortunately very little survives today. In 331 BC, Alexander the Great, in the process of conquering the Persian Empire, burnt Persepolis to the ground as a revenge for the burning of the Acropolis of Athens. Persepolis remained the capital of Persia as a province of the Great Macedonian Empire, but gradually declined in the course of time. Number 9. Lepus Magna. Lepus Magna, or Lepus Magna, was a prominent city of the Roman Empire, located in present-day Libya. Its natural harbor facilitated the city's growth as a major Mediterranean and Saharan trade center, and it also became a market for agricultural production in the fertile coastland region. The Roman Emperor Septimius Severus, 193 to 211, who was born at Lepus, became a great patron of the city. Under his direction, an ambitious building program was initiated. Over the following centuries, however, Lepus began to decline because of the increasing difficulties of the Roman Empire. Number 8. Calakmul. Hidden inside the jungles of the Mexican state of Campeche, Calakmul is one of the largest Maya cities ever uncovered. Calakmul was a powerful city that challenged the supremacy of Tikal and engaged in a strategy of surrounding it with its own network of allies. From the second half of the 6th century AD through to the late 7th century, Calakmul gained the upper hand, although it failed to extinguish Tikal's power completely, and Tikal was able to turn the tables on its great rival in a decisive battle that took place in 695 AD. Eventually, both cities succumbed to the spreading Maya collapse. Number 7. Palmyra. For centuries, Palmyra was an important and wealthy city located along the caravan routes linking Persia with the Mediterranean ports of Rome and Syria. Beginning in 212, Palmyra's trade diminished as the Sassanids occupied the mouth of the Tigris and the Euphrates. The Roman Emperor Diocletian built a wall and expanded the city in order to try and save it from the Sassanid threat. The city was captured by the Muslim Arabs in 634 but kept intact. The city declined under Ottoman rule, reducing to no more than an oasis village. In the 17th century, its location was rediscovered by Western travelers. Number 6. Ctesiphon. In the 6th century, Ctesiphon was one of the largest cities in the world and one of the great cities of ancient Mesopotamia. Because of its importance, Ctesiphon was a major military objective for the Roman Empire and was captured by Rome, and later the Byzantine Empire, 5 times. The city fell to the Muslims during the Islamic conquest of Persia in 637. After the founding of the Abbasid capital at Baghdad in the 8th century, the city went into a rapid decline and soon became a ghost town. Ctesiphon is believed to be the basis for the city of Isbanir in the 1001 Nights. Located in Iraq, the only visible remain today is the Great Arch Take Kisra. Number 5. Hvalfi. Hvalfi was a farmstead of the Eastern Settlement, the largest of the 3 Viking settlements in Greenland. They were settled in approximately 985 AD by Norse farmers from Iceland. At its peak, the site contained approximately 4,000 inhabitants. Following the demise of the Western settlement in the mid-14th century, the Eastern settlement continued for another 60 to 70 years. In 1408, a wedding was recorded at the Hvalfi church, but that was the last word to come from Greenland. Number 4. Annex. Situated along a major east-west caravan route, Ani first rose to prominence in the 5th century AD and had become a flourishing town and the capital of Armenia in the 10th century. The many churches built there during this period included some of the finest examples of medieval architecture and earned its nickname as the City of 1001 Churches. At its height, Ani had a population of 100,000 to 200,000 people. It remained the chief city of Armenia until Mongol raids in the 13th century, a devastating earthquake in 1319, and shifting trade routes sent it into an irreversible decline. Eventually, the city was abandoned and largely forgotten for centuries. The ruins are now located in Turkey. Number 3. Palenque. Palenque in Mexico is much smaller than some of the other lost cities of the Mayan, but it contains some of the finest architecture and sculptures the Maya ever produced. Most structures in Palenque date from about 600 to 800 AD. The city declined during the 8th century. An agricultural population continued to live here for a few generations. Then the lost city was abandoned and was slowly grown over by the forest. Number 2. Tiwanaku. Located near the southeastern shore of Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, Tiwanaku is one of the most important precursors to the Inca Empire. During the time period between 300 BC and 300 AD, Tiwanaku is thought to have been a moral and cosmological center to which many people made pilgrimages. The community grew to urban proportions between the 7th and 9th centuries, becoming an important regional power in the southern Andes. At its maximum extent, the city had between 15,000 to 30,000 inhabitants, although recent satellite imaging suggests a much larger population. Around 1000 AD, after a dramatic shift in climate, Tiwanaku disappeared as food production. The empire's source of power and authority dried up. Number 1. Teotihuacan. In the 2nd century BC, a new civilization arose in the Valley of Mexico. This civilization built the flourishing metropolis of Teotihuacan and its huge step pyramids. A decline in population in the 6th century AD has been correlated to lengthy droughts related to the climate changes. 7 centuries after the demise of the Teotihuacan Empire, the pyramids of the lost city were honored and utilized by the Aztecs and became a place of pilgrimage. So this is our today's video. If you like our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or hit the bell icon. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.